Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Well, in this video we are going to discuss about the division and the branches of the biology. Now, how many divisions of the biology are there? Basically, there are three divisions of the biology. What is that? Zoology, botany, and the microbiology. In the zoology, it is basically zoo. If you see that, it is like zoo. Do you know the meaning of the zoo? That is the animal. So, the zoology means the study of the animals. Zoology means the study of the animals, and it is like that the division of the biology deals with the study of the animal is known as the zoology. So, zoo means animal, and the logy means to study. So, to study the animal is known as the biology. Similarly, the next branch is the botany. What is that? The next branch is the botany. What is basically the botany? The botany is the branch of the biology. It is, sorry, don't say branch beta, it is a division. Division means that they include further branches. The division is a broad term, okay? It is not the branch, it is a division. So beta, it, in fact, like let's suppose these are the basic division of the biology. Fine. The zoology, in which we are going to study the animals. Then we have the botany. The botany is basically the study of the plants. The term bow. The is means the plant. So the study of the plant is basically known as the botany. Now let's move to the next division, and that is the microbiology. It is also, the name is indicating micro. Micro means very small. What is the meaning of the micro? The micro means very small. Fine. So biology. Micro is the small. Bio means life, and the logy means study. So what you get that? You get that study of the micro life. Study of the micro life is known as the microbiology. It means that it includes all the small living organisms like bacteria, viruses, and nowadays the most common is the COVID-19, the coronavirus. So the microbiology is the study of the small life. Okay, so let's, if you're going to read the definition, it is like that: this domain of the biology deals with the study of the microorganisms such as the bacteria. In order to study all aspects of the life, these divisions are further divided into different branches. Did you get? It is like that, students. If you're going to see that this is the biology, and biology has three divisions. The one is the zoology, other one is the botany, and the third one is the microbiology. Now, these divisions includes many of the branches. Now there are the further branches of the divisions. ठीक है, the division, to get the divisions more clearly, जैसे कि अगर आप, if you have chosen a division zoology, it doesn't mean कि आप zoology में आप animals के बारे में हर चीज़ पढ़ लेंगे. No, obviously there would be the further branches of the zoology. Like अब उस animals में आप क्या पढ़ना चाहते हैं? Whether you want to study their reproduction, whether you want to study their evolution, whether you want to study that the interaction of the environment and the animals. ठीक है, ये चीज़ होती है. अब अगर आपने plants को चुना है तो it doesn't mean that you are going to study each and every things about the plant. Might you are going to study about the structure and the function of the plants. Might you are going to study about the fossils of the plant. So these divisions also include the further branches. Clear? Okay, if we are going to see, hold on students, if we are going to see, okay, now let's see the branches of the biology. The divisions, like the morphology. The morphology is the most important. So if we're going to look at here, then the morphology. The morphology is that branch of the biology which is dealing with the structure and the form of the living organisms. What is students morphology? Morphology is the morpho. What is the meaning of morpho? The morpho means functions. Sorry, that is a structure. The morpho means structures or forms. So, to study the morpho, to study the structure, is known as the morphology. To study the structure of the living organism is known as the morphology. Is it clear to you? Any clue relevant to that? Hope so. Everything is clear. Now, the morphology is basically better further have two divisions. You can say anatomy and histology. In the anatomy, we are learning the internal structure of the organism. The internal structure of the organism is known as the anatomy. Like you all knows that we have 206 bones. ठीक है? How you came to know? By the anatomy we came to know that we have the 206 bones. It's mean to study the internal structure of a living organism is known as the anatomy. Similarly, if you know that your heart have the four chambers, the heart have the four chambers, how you come to know that the heart have the four chambers? Similarly, you know that the intestines are the long, so how you come to know? Obviously through the anatomy. Anatomy is basically the study of the internal structure of a living organism. This is known as the anatomy. If we are going to move on the histology, then what is the histology? That is a microscopic study of a tissue. There is a microscopy study of the tissue, and this is known as the histology. What is the meaning of the microscopy study of the histology? If you are going to see here, beta students, if you are going to see, then you are going to see the many of the, like can say, yeah, this is, what is this? Volvas. This you have done under the microscope. You have zoomed the structure of the cell. Like we all know that the structure of the cell, how the structure of the cell is. The structure of the cell is like, let me to tell you, here in the chapter number 4, it is in detail. The structure of the cell. This is basically, hold on student, okay, this is basically, this is the microscopic study. You see that we are actually learning the things in more like, you can say, deep. So deep study, a depth study is known as the histology. Histo means this, no, you can say these are the cells and we are studying it under the microscope. So a depth study, like you can see that here students, this is also our cells, these are also the cells. So this is the, you can say, the deep study. Similarly, you can see that these are the cells, this is the plant cell. So we have studied the plant cell in the depth. Okay, so to study that depth, in the depth, is known as the histology. Histo means, student, what is the meaning of the histo? What is the meaning of the histo? Let me tell you again. The basically the histo means, that histo, histo means tissue. Okay, tissue. So you know very well histology. Logy means to study. So to study the tissue is known as the histology. And how you are going to study the tissue? Obviously under the microscope. So the microscopic study of the tissue is known as the histology. What is the anatomy? Anatomy is basically to study the internal structure of the living organisms, like or her four chamber, or brain is protected by the cranium, skull, or her, you can say, lungs is protected by the ribs. This is the internal structure. So the study of the internal structure is known as anatomy, while the study of the microscopic, like study of the microscopic cells, is known as the histology. Okay student, so the next thing is also very much interesting. What is it? Is like that, the study, what is a branch of the cell biology, what we are going to do in that. So it is very much important, as the name is indicating cell. So the study of the cell is known as the cell biology. Each and everything about the cell, we know that the cell contains the nucleus, the cell contains the cytoplasm, the cell contains the ribosomes, the cell contains the mitochondria, the cells contains the Golgi apparatus, the cell contains the endoplasmic reticulum. Don't get confused. Don't get confused by these difficult names. Are going to discuss it in detail. But I'm just telling you that in cell biology, we are going to study about the structure and the function of the cell, right? As well as, you know, beta, when you're going to get the wound, it causes bleeding, and after some days you will see that there's a new skin. So from where this new skin come? Obviously the new cells generate, the new cells born. So the study of the cell division is also under the heading of the cell biology. The study of the cell's function, the study of the cell formation, the study of the cell structure, each and everything will come under the heading of the cell biology. Now let's see what is in the physiology. The physiology and anatomy is very much similar to it. You can say that mostly the question comes that write the difference between the anatomy and physiology. If you remember, I have told you the anatomy is to study the structure. What is that, girls? Students, structure. To study the structure of a living organism, to study the structure of the living organism is known as the anatomy. But what is the physiology? The physio means function. What is that? The physio means function. So logy, to study the function is known as the physiology. So what is going on, students? If you're going to listen to me very carefully, this branch deals with the study of the functions of the different part of the living organism. See, so this is a physiology. Let's suppose I am able to see through my eye, so this is the function of the eye. Got it? So this thing will be studied under the heading of the physiology, under the branch of the physiology. So student, what is your assignment? Listen to me very carefully. Your assignment is that you are going to learn these all branches and the division of the biology, and you are going to make the notes. Fine, the question will be sent in the WhatsApp group accordingly, and you are going to complete this, and you are going to send me the assignment in the Teams, to the Teams app, within the proper time. I don't want any kind of the excuses. Okay, so if you are going to give your 100%, then you are going to be a good, a delicate person, and you are going to learn more interestingly. So don't make me anguish on you. If I'm giving my 100%, you have also to give the 100%. Best of luck, and my wishes are with you. Okay, stay tuned, and Allah Hafiz.